Okay, so I just got back from the dollar store. I got all of my goodies right here to make this video. Hopefully it all will work out. I got most of what I wanted. I don't have a hot glue gun right now, so I'm asking one of my really good friends to see if I could borrow hers today. So we'll see what happens with that. If not, I'll just have to film a different day. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready.
The first thing we're going to work on is a DIY decorated plate and mug. This is a really easy and simple gift that you can make that's very personalized and really fun to make. Really all you need for this is a ceramic mug or plate, Sharpies, and your imagination. Add whatever design you want on the plate and mug, and once you're finished, all you need to do is bake it in the oven. While you can use any type of Sharpie, oil-based Sharpies seem to work the best. Preheat your oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's another example of a mug I made for my best friend. Once it's preheated, feel free to place your item in the oven. Now all you have to do is set a timer for 2 hours. Once the timer ends, you can take out your creation. Make sure to use gloves. The oven will be hot. Although the heat baked the Sharpie in, it's better to hand wash whatever you make. So here I have a couple of blocks of wood that I got at Home Depot. I just asked them to cut them into even rectangles, and I am just going to sand them really quickly with some sanders that I got at Home Depot as well. I want to make sure that it's completely smooth so that way the pictures go on nice and evenly. So once I have it sanded down completely, I'm going to run my hand over it to make sure it's all completely smooth on the sides and on the front. And I'm going to grab the picture that I want to use and measure it with the wood. So I'll do this by placing the wood over it and lining it with a marker. I'll repeat that step with any other pictures and blocks that I want to use. Next, you want to cover your image with a layer of Modge Podge. Now, the amount of Modge Podge you use can be a little tricky. You want to make sure it's thick enough so that way it coats the whole image, but also not too thick where you can't see the image anymore. Once you coat your image, align it with the wood. You want to try to get it on the first try because any movement that you make can ruin the image. Next, what I like to do is find an old gift card and use it to smooth over any bubbles that I see in the image. You want to make sure that the image is completely flat against the wood because any bubbles that are left will result in the image not coming up clearly. One of the most important steps is to soak your image. Ideally, it would be 24 hours, but at least leave it soaking overnight. One of the best ways I found to do this is by soaking an old t-shirt. Just make sure that it's not dripping wet. Now this is where it gets a little bit more difficult. You want to try to remove the paper that's on top of the wood. You can do this by using whatever you use to soak the wood. Work in small areas at a time. It might be a good idea to play with some of the pressure you use to try to take off the paper. You'll be able to tell if you're using too much pressure if the image comes up off the wood along with the paper. If this happens, don't worry. Just go on to another section and work with a little bit less pressure. Once you feel like you're done, go over the wood one last time. You want to make sure that there's no paper left over or it'll show once it's dry. You're almost done. Now what you have to do is use the Modge Podge to create a protective layer over the image. This will make sure that the image stays looking great for a long time. Depending on what kind of finished look you want, you can get either matte Modge Podge or something that's a little bit more shiny. I personally like the matte one, but it's definitely personal preference. Make sure you let the coat dry for at least 24 hours. Once the Modge Podge is dry, it'll become see-through, and now you'll have a finished image to be able to give to your loved ones. While I was at the dollar store, I found some really cute picture frames, and I thought it would be a really cute idea to make a picture frame lantern that I can put a candle in. What I'm doing now is placing each of the pictures that I want into the frame. Since we're making lanterns, we can't use the backings of the frame, so I'm adding some tape to give the pictures some support. Next, what I'm doing is taking a hot glue gun and hot gluing the corners of each of the frames together. If done correctly, all of the frames should meet up to make a perfect square. Once you finish hot gluing each of the corners, it's a good idea to flip the lantern over and continue hot gluing the bottom of the frame. Once you're done, just let it dry. Now all you have to do is put a battery-powered candle into the lantern. Make sure not to use open flames. Now you'll have a beautiful lantern with your favorite memories.
So when I was editing the video, I realized that I lost the footage of the final reveal of the picture frame lantern, which sucks because it was really cute, and I unfortunately already gave it to my grandma and she took it to Mexico, so it's in Mexico right now and I can't really redo that footage, so it's just not going to be able to make it to the final video. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is just a very very short video just to give you guys some really quick DIY fun ideas to maybe give to your loved ones this Christmas. I'm sorry there was a little bit of technical difficulties with this video, but if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I will answer them as best as I can. I've done all of these a couple of times, so I think I would be able to answer any questions that you guys might have, and if not, I will find out the answer for you. If you want me to do any other DIY videos, or if there's anything you guys want to request for me to do a video on, let me know. But yeah, this is the first time I've ever made a DIY video on this channel. It's usually more of a channel where I share different moments in my life, but I love making DIY things, so I figured that for the holidays I would do a how-to video to make DIY gifts. Like I said, the first time I've ever done it, so I know that there's a lot of technical difficulties and glitches. I think I recorded myself a bunch of different days. I look completely different in all the clips, which I know is confusing, but yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, and let me know what you thought of this video. If you do any of these, please let me know as well. I'd love to see any of the gifts that you guys make. Please like and subscribe and comment on the video if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching!